We have some major Red Sox updates, including how Garrett Crochet was dominant yesterday in his third outing in spring training. I'll break down that performance, as well as injury updates surrounding the entire starting rotation from Alex Cora himself. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, you guys already know, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, scroll down, click the subscribe button. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down these huge Red Sox updates, and they are huge. Now we're going to first start with the performance from our ace, Garrett Crochet. If you have not seen him pitch yet this spring training, you are missing out. This guy is getting better and better by the appearance, and yesterday was his third appearance of the spring training, and well, he was dominant. There's no other way to really explain it. He went 3 innings. He gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 7 of the 9 batters he did face in those 3 innings. He was phenomenal. Now, it wasn't just the fact that he did have 7 strikeouts, again, in those 9 batters, but also, or 11 because he did give up 2 hits. But again, he is starting to really look comfortable. Now, whether it be because he's now on a new team or just the fact that, again, his third appearance in spring training where he's trying to get that arm situated and really find a groove going into the MLB season. He hit 101 miles per hour on a fastball yesterday, looking just flat out dominant. It is going to be a thrill to watch him the rest of this MLB season. I genuinely believe he's going to be in the top ranks of the Cy Young candidates at the end of this MLB season. I believe he has a legitimate chance to lead the league in strikeouts, not just the AL, but the entire MLB in strikeouts. I think he is going to be dominant in Boston. I think he's really going to find a groove in Boston, and I don't think it's going to take very long to do because, again, I think the offense for the Boston Red Sox is really going to translate early on in this season and often. I think it's going to go from early stages throughout the entirety of the season. I think we're really going to be a good offensive team, just like we were last year, ranking the 9th best offense in the league at the end of the season. I think we're going to get something similar, if not better than that this season. I think Crochet is going to be in love with it because he's coming from a White Sox organization, as we all know. Has not been great, especially in his tenure as a major league ball player. So now putting him on a team with a substantial offense and legitimate help, not only offensively, but again, in the rest of the starting rotation as well as the bullpen being significantly better now, I think he's going to flourish and really, really have a great time here in Boston, and we better extend him. If we don't extend him in the next month or two, I'm going to riot. This is ridiculous. We should have paid him already. This kid is spectacular, and it's going to be awesome to watch. For the other guys who did pitch yesterday, as it's hard to even acknowledge them, as Crochet really stole the show. Chapman, once again, another scoreless inning. He is throwing fireballs, no other way around it. His windup, his delivery is so aggressive and intimidating. I'm not sure how anyone could ever hit off of him unless you're stealing signs. But the point is, Hendricks ended up getting the win after giving up 4 hits and 1 earned run in his 1 inning of work. But then we saw Justin Wilson and 3 others come in, give us an inning apiece, and overall we played pretty damn well, only giving up 2 runs for the entirety of the game. Again, winning 4-2. Overall, Bregman hit another triple. He looks phenomenal. I think he, again, is going to be a substantial piece to this Red Sox organization. And clearly, that's the reason we went out and paid him $40 million a year. And again, we needed to. We needed that right-handed bat. We possibly need that versatility at third base, which would help greatly. But again, this is going to be very, very fun to watch. This Red Sox team is going to be better than it was last year, where we were 81-81. And now with more pitching and even more offensive production, this Red Sox team should be absolutely dominant and should really scare all the other teams in the MLB. Not just the AL, not just the AL East, but the entirety of the MLB. Now, the Dodgers are a different conversation, and I understand that. But everyone else is fair game. I will also mention that Masataka Yoshida had another great performance at the plate. Again, he's batting .400 in a very small amount of reps. But again, hitting a baseball is not easy, whether you get 1 attempt or 100. He looks very healthy. He looks very good. Now, for the throwing shoulder side of things, we did see clips of him in spring training. Obviously, not in game, but just in warm-ups and whatnot. Throwing around, not really long tossing, but again, throwing with teammates. He looked like he wasn't grimacing or really in any form of pain or discomfort. So that is a plus side. Whether or not he has played in the outfield, again, is to be determined. I would doubt it because of the amount of talent that and the amount of versatility that we have amongst these guys, and Rafael Duran, Abreu, again, the list goes on. But the idea is the same. It's going to be interesting to see Yoshida does play, or if he even is a part of this Red Sox organization by the halfway point of this MLB season. As if he continues to produce offensively, I would not be surprised if Boston looked to flip him in that massive contract for something that we could possibly need, like another piece out of the bullpen or somewhere else. It's going to be interesting. But now we have updates from Alex Cora. And I know when you read this, you're like, Houston, I don't want to hear about the defensive positioning anymore. We're not going to talk about it. It'll be very brief, but again, that is not why I'm bringing up this graphic. MLB Network was interviewing Alex Cora, and they asked a bunch of different questions, including what does the farm system look like? What young prospects are really standing out to you? As well as what are the injury updates, which we're going to get to in just a second. And really, that's the reason I'm bringing this up. Also, they were asking fan-asked questions. Now, whether or not these questions were actually pronounced by fans, I'll let you guys to interpret that yourself, because it seems like MLB Network just wants to continue to add to the massive drama pit of this question, and really the entire idea of who's going to play third base. Is it going to be Bregman? Are we going to have Devers all upset? Again, I'm not here to talk about it because Cora gives us the same answer that we already know. Devers wants to win. Bregman wants to win. They all have connections to each other because Bregman and Cora knew each other long ago. Devers and Cora have known each other since 2013, 14. Again, the point is the same. There's connections both ways. They both want to play third. They both still want to win. Cora's going to put out the best team in baseball that he can. End of story. Now for the injury updates. The main reason I'm bringing up this graphic, it's just they didn't label it that way, and I didn't want you guys to think we're going elsewhere. So, injury updates. Kutter Crawford, Bryan Bello. So we just discussed Bryan Bello and how he was throwing bullpens for the first time with Pedro Martinez, as well as just throwing around. Weren't expecting to see him start anytime soon, and Kutter Crawford is in the same page, or the same boat, I should say. Now, this is the exact quote from Alex Cora, and he would go on to say, Kutter and Bello are behind. I don't expect Kutter to start the season with us. Bello is playing catch-up. We'll see where we're at. Crochet, Buehler, Lucas are good. Tanner, too. And again, that is an exact quote from this graphic from Alex Cora. Again, discussing the injury updates of the entirety of the pitching rotation. It was labeled as pitching staff, but again, we understand. The actual pitching rotation, the players that we have available and are expected to be a part of this starting rotation for the Boston Red Sox. Again, Buehler, Crochet, Tanner, Lucas, all of them good. All of them, it seemed like they are going to be ready for opening day. They are going to be available for the Red Sox at maximum health. And again, they look damn good based off what we've seen through a handful of games through spring training. For Bryan Bello, he has thrown bullpens like we discussed in the last episode of Red Sox Digest. He looked good. Again, it was reported that it was only 75%. And again, despite that, the motion looked good, the overall windup, and again, the ability to get through his entire rotation and really deliver a pitch looked good. He didn't look like he was any much in discomfort, which is, again, what we want to see. For Kutter Crawford, we have not seen him throw at all, at least based off of any of the social media clips. I've not been to any of the spring training games in Fort Myers, so again, I'm not boots on the ground, but covering based off of all the good sources that we have, haven't seen him throw. It doesn't seem like he's going to be throwing for some time. Cora, again, went on to say that he doesn't believe Kutter Crawford will be throwing at the beginning stages of this season, and we'll see him later down the line. Again, he is dealing with a right shoulder injury. Righty Kutter Crawford continues to be slowed by soreness in his patellar tendon in his right knee and is iffy at best, if not doubtful to be ready for opening day. Crawford dealt with the injury from his third start of last season, but grinded through it and made it all of his starts. Again, dealing with that right knee injury. Bryan Bello is the one dealing with the right shoulder injury. I got that mixed up. Rotation depth being tested with Crawford knee, Bello shoulder, sidelined. And again, this was written by Ian Brownie back on the 22nd of February. Again, just wanted to have in writing to present to you guys so it's easier to really just grasp and understand. So again, those are the injury updates. That was the report on Garrett Crochet and how he looked absolutely dominant. Let me know down below. What are you guys most excited for? Who are you most excited to see in a Red Sox uniform when the season actually begins and the games begin to actually matter? Is it someone out of the pitching staff in the sense of Crochet, Buehler, or even these young guys in Bello and Crawford? Or you guys want to see this high-flying offense really start to establish themselves in the MLB and really just come out and start swinging the bat? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.